Shalom Bite. You know what that is?
Uh-uh.
It's a Jewish term. It means a peace in the house.
Oh, I thought it meant bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Shalom Bite.
Shalom Bite.
Where you been and where you going? This is Ari's travel show, yeah. We're gonna talk about travel today. It's You Be Trippin, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to You Be Trippin, the only travel podcast that's ever been made. I'm Ari Shaffir, your host, and every week we have a new guest, usually a friend of mine, telling us about a beautiful place. And today is no different. We have my friend Mark Norman. He's a great traveler. He's an amazing comedian. He has a new special out right now called Soup to Nuts. It's available on Netflix. Mark, where are we going today?
We're going to Australia.
Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
Down under.
Have you ever been surfing before?
Never. It was
That
my
was the first time.
So I had
Wow.
to do the dumb gay lesson, you know. Where
The
they
lesson's
show you how
tough.
to pop up, but I needed it. I was clueless.
But also, it is cool.
Yeah.
When you get even on the sand and you go like that.
Yes,
It's like, it
yes.
feels like you're surfing.
It totally does, and like, of course, our guy was super hot. He was like a hot, hunky surfer guy from New Zealand.
That's tough.
And I learned a lot. You know, he taught us about the waves and the current and the riptide and all that crap.
How do you paddle with a heart on?
It wasn't easy. That was a third fin.
You're like a scale of justice.
Yeah.
So, wait, where'd you do it? Which beach? Which city?
Not Adelaide. Oh shit. We did Perth, Adelaide, Sydney,
Melbourne.
Brisbane.
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 Oh,
That's where we did
Brisbane, dude.
Yeah.
They're-
Bogans. That's their white trash.
That's their white trash. Yeah. It's very specific.
It was so fun, and when you get it, man, I understand it now. You see these queefs out there who smoke weed all day and wake up at 6 a.m. and
Yeah.
put on a wetsuit. By the way, the wetsuit's amazing. It really does warm you.
It does warm you.
Yeah, our water was freezing, and I was fine. And
Did you piss in it?
Of course,
Of course. How could you
course.
not? You're out there and you got to piss.
Yeah,
And you
and-
can't take it off.
and it stays a little bit.
You
You know?
feel it. Even though you're in the water, you
Yeah,
still feel
yeah.
the piss around you.
Yeah, well, it's like a leather couch. It pools in the suit.
Yep.
So yeah, great time, and really,
How long? Like, yeah, when you get that wave,
oh, it's 4 seconds, but boy,
it's 4
is it
seconds.
great.
You because you get up and you fall, you get up and you fall, you get up and you finally get one.
Yeah,
And it's just like, it's like heaven.
it's great too. 'Cause it's one of those things where you can't think about it too much. You know, if you start thinking about it, you're like, "Ah," you just
Yeah.
gotta feel it, baby,
Yeah.
in your bones.
Did you see any like great surfers out there?
Of course, yeah.
Where they're like, yeah.
They were just ripping, and you're like, why can't I do
That's
that?
wild. I'm barely able to stand up, and you see them like flipping in the
I
air,
know,
like
I know.
doing ollies and shit.
And you know what? It feels like a stick shift. You know, you have to learn a stick shift, but
Yeah.
eventually you just feel it and you just know it. You don't even think about it. That's
Yeah.
what surfing felt like. The
Oh,
last
interesting.
hour, you're like, all right, I just feel it now.
God, how much did that cost?
I was like, I don't know, $150.
True or false? In Australia, because you use different money, it
Yeah.
feels like fake money, but it's almost exactly the same. So you're whipping through cash that you feel like is Monopoly money.
Whipping through cash, but it was way better. The dollar was way stronger. It was about 60 cents.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
so everything was almost half off.
Oh.
So that changed a
Oh,
lot.
the last time I was there was like 95 cents to the dollar. And you're like, fuck this stupid money. And
Yeah.
you're like, wait, I just spent $5,000 in the last 2 days.
No, it was way
Oh,
cheaper
that's cool.
and no tipping. So you're a millionaire. So you're spending less money on the meals and not tipping.
How great did that feel when you don't even see the
Oh,
line?
it's weird. You feel guilty.
Yeah. You do feel, I had a lady in somewhere. I got a kangaroo burger or kangaroo steak or something
I had
like
a
that.
kangaroo burger.
You did?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Very flavorful.
And I tipped her, you know, a normal, someone who used to work in service industry amount, which is higher than a regular person even.
Yeah.
And she comes back, she goes, are you sure? And I mean, then no, I wasn't sure anymore, but you can't, you
Yeah.
can't be like, no,
Of
give me
course.
$12 back.
Well,
S-
they do the, hey, everybody here makes a living wage. Don't worry about it. You're like, wow, okay, get it.
That's what she told me. I was like, what makes you work hard then if you're not getting tips? Like we were just
Yeah.
talking and she goes, well, I get paid $25 an hour. I'm like, yeah, but with no tips, why would you like work hard? She goes, because I don't want to lose a job that pays me $25 an hour.
See?
How do like anyone with a salary job work hard?
That's a great point.
You're not making tips.
Well, we're so fucking entitled here that we're like, you have to give me extra shit just for me to do a
Yeah.
medium default job.
Yeah. What cultural? This is interesting now because you're a student of all this, and Australia is an English speaking country.
Yep.
What cultural differences did you see? Did you notice,
Ooh.
if any?
Oh, I thought I heard somebody
It's
coming in.
banned. He's trying to.
Oh, okay.
Fuck him.
That's his Mexican caged helper he has.
Yeah.
What cultural differences? Well, I saw a lot, so buckle up.
Okay.
I have a whole theory about Australia just from being there for 3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks is a great time too. It's not a quick pop in and out.
I'll jizz it out real quick. I'll do my full load, and then we'll get to the little
down,
things.
Bro.
So Australia, it's better than us in a lot of ways. Way less homeless, way less crime, way less opioid addiction, no shootings. So they got no tipping, living wage. They have health care. They got us on everything, but
Hot chicks.
Super hot chicks. Everybody's free. They don't have there's not a lot of toxic male. No, they're just living. They're not worried about all that bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
We have that here and we go, should I feel bad? I'm an asshole. I'm a cisgendered white cunt, you know?
Yeah.
They don't really have that. They do have some Aboriginal guilt.
They have some history.
But it's not bad.
Yeah.
Not like
they
us.
Didn't do it. The ones now didn't do it.
Exactly. So I would say that Australia, it's great in a lot of ways, but it's like this. It's all very regular. There's not a lot of highs and lows.
What do you mean highs and lows?
Meaning here, we've got the opioid addicted, fentanyl snorting, crackhead blowing a guy under an overpass who's got dementia and he's mentally retarded. And then we got Elvis. We got Steve Jobs. We got LeBron James. We've got Elon Musk. Well, Elon Musk isn't from here. But,
but he came here.
He came here. We got all that. But we got the Downs syndrome.
Right.
They just have this.
Wow.
So we're worse, but we're better too over here. It's like Cosby. He's a brilliant comedian, pull your pants up, but he's also a serial rapist.
Yeah.
You know, they're very still and running smoothly, but we have this going on.
Oh.
But at least we get the highs too.
I like that. Okay, so what'd you get into?
Okay, let's see. Well, we start in Perth.
Yeah.
Nobody
goes to Perth.
Nobody.
Comedy-wise, nobody goes. I loved it.
I loved it too, and it was hell though because we went there first. So you fly to San Francisco, you change, then you fly to Sydney, and you're like, I did it. I made it to Australia. That flight was hell. One more to Perth, 5 hours.
5 hours.
Ah!
You're like Australia. We feel in America we feel like everything is small, but Australia is about the same size as the United States.
Right.
And you're going from here to there.
Yes, exactly. And I said, why did you do that to me, manager?
I mean, what else are you going to do? Go the other way?
That's what they said. They said, you got to get it over with.
You got to get it over with. I mean, you could go Hong Kong, somewhere around here, and then down.
Oh, yeah.
But, also, you got to go San Francisco to it doesn't matter. San Francisco to there or San Francisco to there. You're still going.
Yeah, exactly. So we just suck it up and do it. It was hell. Because you're like, I made it. Oh, wait. Now you got to go to L.A. It's a full cross country.
That trip is one of the wildest because it's Southern Hemisphere and I don't know, Eastern Hemisphere. I don't know.
Yeah, where is England?
England's
because they sent their
England's over here.
So they went all the way. They must have cut through Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they went all the way there just to get rid of their prisoners.
Oh, right. I think they went around the Cape of Good Hope.
Oh man, that's a long one too.
That's a long one. I think if they lost people, they were like, it's fine.
Yeah, they're pedophiles.
Yeah, right? They didn't ship them there by plane.
No. This is the, 14.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, if it sinks.
Yeah. But they made it.
Did you go to the prison out there in Perth?
No. Oh, no, I missed the prison.
It's okay.
Damn.
It's like a haunted prison tour night. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. So what'd you get into there?
Well, Perth was just the first stop, so we're like, okay, we gotta regroup.
That trip is fucking hell.
Hell.
It's like a day.
It's a day, but I went with the wife, and I sprung for both of us to have first class. She never had to lay down.
Idiot! What?
I know.
How much?
Profit margin.
You gotta tell me how much. Or wait. Take 10 seconds and think if you can tell me the real number. Because if you're gonna make up a number, then don't tell me.
I'm actually not positive of the number, but they fly
You're
me
HIV
out.
positive.
So they fly me out. So that's
they fly you out first class.
Yeah,
but that's coming out of your take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they guarantee you'll be lower.
But I couldn't put her in the back with the
God, that'd be
stoolies.
so ballsy, though.
I did it with London.
You did?
Yeah, but I would go give her snacks every now and then, like I was feeding the
Remember
poor.
when you and Shane? I was stupid. I was like, I got my own row in the back. I don't need first class. They're gonna have me my own row. And then the lady was like, I'll bring you a first class meal.
Yeah, you see, it's great. And she never laid down before. That was the highlight of the trip. Was that first class flight? I watched movies. I ate like a king.
It's when you land, you see everybody from, I call it steerage, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
And then you're like refreshed. It's really not a hellish flight at all.
Not at all. No, it was better than a New York apartment.
Did they give you those like pajama socks?
Pajama socks. You got the slip-on thing,
Yeah.
the shoes. I got the full headphone. I got an eye mask.
Wow.
They give you a toothbrush and toothpaste. It's
Wow.
great.
So Perth was whatever.
Okay, Perth was whatever, but I liked it. Everybody's like, it's so sleepy and boring, but I thought it was pretty and clean, and no one goes there, so they're very like, thank you.
Oh, right. Yeah, the crowds must have been wild there.
Crowds were wild. We did 3 shows at a theater, and then I said, what do I do here? They go, you got to go see the Quokkas.
Fuck, I'm so sorry I missed that.
Really?
Yeah. I had limited time, and I went up north hiking, and then I went, and then I saw a lot of dead kangaroos on the side of the road.
Oh, no.
But just so many.
That's like they're deer.
Yeah, but like way more than I've ever seen deer.
Whoa.
It's like every 7 miles there's a fucking rotted out carcass.
That is
I
wild.
pulled over for some and like took pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to find those. But
after the 4th one, you're like, all right, I got it. You're
the
bored of it.
quokkas I really, really wanted to see, and I went to the haunted Cook's prison or whatever it was.
Wish
But-
I'd done that.
Yeah. So, but you went to the island for the quokkas?
And here's where we get crazy.
Wow.
So we go to the island and we go, well, you can take a 2.5-hour ferry,
Okay.
or the only other option is a helicopter. And I go, well, I'm not. Who am I? Fucking Kanye?
Yeah.
Kobe?
Yeah.
I'm not going to take a helicopter.
It's bad history of that.
And it's just so much money. And I start going, you know what? Fuck it. I'm never going to be back here, probably. I bet I can convince. We're drunk at a bar. We're
Yeah.
going there tomorrow. I'm like, I bet I can convince the Live Nation guy to spring for it, and we'll put it on some kind of artist tab or whatever. So we start talking. We start doing shots, and I go, hey, Peter. He's this cool guy. He's grizzled. He used to work with, like, NoFX and all this shit.
Oh, that's cool.
And he's hanging out with us. Thank God our tour people were cool.
Yeah.
They were fun. They were drunks.
You get who they assign you.
Exactly. But this guy's like, I listen to all the pods. He'll probably hear this.
Right.
But he's like, I love all your stuff. So he wanted to go on. So he got it. And I go, hey, we're thinking about going to the Rottnest Island for the Quokkas. And he goes,
Rottnest, yeah.
that's going to be awesome. And I go, yeah, they're saying there's a helicopter because the boat takes 2.5. Then we got to take 2.5 back. The helicopter takes 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So just for timing wise, and he goes, I got it.
No.
I'll pay for it. And we took a helicopter.
Oh.
It was awesome. I have photos of that.
This is like there's one of the owners of a club I work at a lot. I don't want to say specifically, but when he's coked up, man, you get that top shelf scotch.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey, let's call him Jimmy. Jimmy, how come you never treat me right?
Right.
Give me that the high up there where you need a ladder.
Well, they have these weird budgets where they're like,
They
all right,
do have a
fuck
weird
it.
budget, and also they're paying it for like high, like the killers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So our money that we're getting are a nice expensive meal.
Yes.
It's nothing. They never get looked at.
Exactly. And all you got to do is make sure you're the guy who gets that weird budget, because they'll give it to someone else if you don't put your, put your foot down.
Right. So you went.
So we went and we fed them, and they were cute and little and weird.
You have pictures of that?
I got a lot
Show
of
me
pictures of that. And here.
What is a quokka? So people don't know.
It's basically like a little marsupial. See there? I gave him a chip right in the middle there.
This one?
Hold on. Look at that. I just put the
so
camera
cute.
right in his face. And they eat anything. You get ice cream, and we got yelled at for giving him ice cream.
Really?
Like fucking Americans.
Oh,
And
wow.
watch out for a dick pic.
That's fine. I've seen it before.
That's
wow,
true.
You're right there with them.
Oh, yeah. They're
They
so
pose
little.
with you. Oh, that's a helicopter.
That's the helicopter. We're in it. Yeah, there's Youngblood.
Oh, yeah. Wow. You brought Youngblood too. He sat in coach.
That's true.
Okay. I was like, yeah, I assume.
Yeah. And we just had a great time, and it's a cute
Wow,
little
these
island, and it's
quokkas.
remote. We had a couple beers on the water.
Really?
Yeah. And
What was the weather like?
it was perfect.
Okay, I got another question for you.
Oh, yeah. So then that was another day. We went to the Australian Football League.
Fun.
AFL. Super fun, rowdy, big beers, meat pies. Great time.
What's a meat pie?
A meat pie it's basically like a chicken pot pie,
Yeah.
but it's way worse for you, and it's beefy and mushroomy and salty.
It's when you're drunk. It's glorious.
Oh, it's great, but you have a miscarriage. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna shit blood, and your stomach hurts. But man, are they good?
Hi, everybody. Today's episode of You Be Trippin' is brought to you by thefreezepipe.com. Oh, the freeze pipe. I don't need the copy for this. I use it. It's great. Whoever coughs when they're smoking, I know I do. Yeah, I'm willing to admit it. There's toxic masculinity where you can't admit that things hurt. That things hurt, that you're overwhelmed by beauty when you go into the Sagra de Familia, that you listen to Nevermind, you're like, what a beautiful album, and you start crying. I'm willing to admit it. And when I smoke harsh weed from a harsh pipe, it hurts. And I cry. And the freeze pipe said, don't cry anymore. Don't cry anymore, Ari. We'll put glycerin in a pipe, and you can put it in your freezer for only like an hour, and then it hits fucking nice, everybody. It's smooth, for real. It's smooth. Get one. Thefreezepipe.com. It's thefreezepipe.com. Look at me with no fucking copy because I use it, and it's fucking good. It hits fucking smooth, dude. Refreshing. Like, for real. Like a fucking mint. Like you're fucking smoking a fucking mint. Order today. Go to thefreezepipe.com and use promo code TRIPPIN at checkout. That's TRIPPIN with no G. And get 10% off your order and free shipping. Look at that. I know it all by heart. Use promo code TRIPPIN at thefreezepipe.com for 10% off your order and free shipping right now. Today's episode of You Be Trippin is brought to you by Sheath Underwear. Guys, do you have extremely long balls that stick to the sides of your legs and chafe and eventually get redder and redder and redder and eventually get so itchy that you just want to die because your long balls touching the sides of your thighs? Well, I do. And I don't know if that affects you too, but this colonel from the U.S. Army took his know-how and he applied it to underwear. He's got a little pouch here. I'm actually wearing the underwear right now. Yes. They come in weird designs like this. I can't show you my dick. But the point is, there's a little pouch for your fucking nuts. So it stops that itch from happening. You got a hole for your dick, and then a pouch for your nuts. It's a dick pouch technology. Only found at sheathunderwear.com. That'll stop you from itching. However, the problem is, because this colonel gave these underwear to almost every comedian, occasionally you get yours mixed up with another comics while you're on a trip together, and you end up wearing theirs. And he cannot stop the itch you get from trying on the underwear of someone with active herpes. Sheathunderwear.com. Protect the sides of your thighs from itch. Guys, go to sheath.com right now for 20% off your order if you use the promo code ARI. That's sheath.com. They are great underwear. They're pretty much the only kind I use. 20% off your order with promo code ARI. Now let's get back to the episode. Cody was like, I'll show you where to get an authentic one.
Yeah.
And I was like, where? 7-Eleven. That is the Australian authentic meat pie.
Oh yeah, they don't frown on them there.
Yeah.
It's like a Big Mac.
Yeah.
You get them when you're drunk.
Yeah. And they're open on the way home. They'll warm them up for you. Aussie football was cool. What I remembered from, they took me in Melbourne, was all the food and shit was cheap. Like, you're getting in is tough,
Very cheap.
and then everything's cheap.
Yeah, I agree. The food is cheap. The beer's cheaper.
Yeah.
The drinks were way cheaper. They do the damn pour there. That's one thing I don't like about Australia is they do that weird shot glass pour.
The exact amount.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, you want to go? I kept saying, this is America. What are you doing? And they go, it's not America. But that's how I feel. I'm like, pour the fucking thing.
Do you feel like, okay, Australia and England and Canada, they feel in some ways, not completely, in some ways like just little America?
A little bit in some ways.
Yeah, like if you're in downtown Sydney, you see a Zara, and everyone's speaking English with an accent, but like everyone's speaking English and the signs are all in English.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't really gone to a new place.
A little bit, but the roads are, you have to look the other way when you're crossing the street. That's a little weird. The shot glass thing is a little weird. Everything closes early.
Ask for a double shot?
I ask for doubles for everything.
And so that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Instead of flirting with them, you just be like, just give me 2.
Yeah. Or I'd say just give me a couple shots to start off the night, and then I'll just nurse this, Jack and Coke.
How are they with drinking?
They go at it, but they stop at 2 o'clock. That's it.
I thought they have these like lock-ins or something. Maybe it's changed. COVID changed a lot of shit, but
okay.
I heard they used to have it where it was like, instead of letting everyone out of the bars at 2, that's where all the fights and stabbings were.
Yeah.
Because everyone's out together and they're disappointed they're not drinking. Instead, they go, we're shutting the doors one way only out, but not in at whatever time. 2. So if you're there, you can keep drinking. So then it's a steady stream of people leaving slowly.
Yeah.
Because like now it's 2:20 and I'm like, I think I'm done. So
right.
like, I'm leaving, but you might be 2:40. The next guy might be 2:15.
Interesting.
Somebody else might 1:45, but there's no like quick. And also that's like it's down a bunch of shots.
Yeah.
Because we won't get the chance anymore.
That's
out.
true. That's out. But they do drink earlier there. Like they're out at 7 pounding beers, where we go out at 10.
That's cool.
But we went to an open mic the first night we got there, just out of boredom.
In Perth?
In Perth, packed to the gills. super nice. All the comics were really, really warm and like, you're here. This is crazy. I watched you on Bobby Lee's pod, and now you're here. And they gave us time, and everybody had a good set. And it was
Is this your first time there?
in Perth, yeah.
But not Australia.
Only Melbourne. I did the festival, which kind of sucked. But
It's a long road.
it's a long road for a 15-minute spot every night,
Wow.
and then I would just get blackout drunk out of boredom.
Dude, I came. This has been my episode, I guess. But like, I did the Melbourne festival, but it was part of a whole tour. But I only did it for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I got there, and Kinane and Sean Patton had already been there for 3 weeks. I'm like, "Hey guys, I'm here," and they're like, "Ari, shut up, you're too loud."
Yeah,
it was just like, "Oh man, you guys look bad."
Oh, yeah. It does a number on you.
Yeah,
Because you're trying to adjust to the time, and you're drinking more to compensate. It's
and
not
also
good.
with the party.
Yeah. Daniel Sloss shows up, and you're like, here we go. But yeah, so Perth was awesome. Did the open mic, then we went to the comedy club one night. We were up
in
and
Perth.
at 'em in
Okay.
Perth. So we do the theater, and then they're like, there's a comedy club thing, and let's go over there. And you get to see the other part of town. You get to see other people and meet people, then go drink it with them.
Something I see when I'm on the road, and you probably do, even America, anywhere. It's like you think you know what Denver is, but really you know the shitty downtown part of Denver.
Yeah,
And then when you
exactly.
find out, oh, this is why it's cool from away from there. You know, the people who come here in New York and go to Times Square, you're like, that's not what New York is.
Yes.
Go to Bushwick.
Go to Bushwick.
Go to try some different places. It's nice when they take you to another part of town.
It's nice because you know the wife's like, another show. What are we doing? And I'm like, it's not that. It's just something new.
Oh, right.
And otherwise, you got to go. Let me Google Perth fun. I don't want to do that.
And then
Let me
also you're
just take
following
me.
what the blogs tell you,
Yeah, exactly.
which they wouldn't tell you. I always related to here. The blogs wouldn't tell you about the spots I know about.
Yeah.
You know?
They're gonna tell you about the Cronut.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
exactly. Or like, this is the oldest bar in the
Yeah,
whatever. Or this
yeah.
is whatever. And instead of like, oh, this is actually a cool bar. They got to play 90s music.
Right.
You know?
right. There's cheap dumpling here.
Yeah. There's a place near the stand, actually, and they play every time I pass in, it's like 90s rock. And I
Mm.
love it.
I
And I was
love
trying
it.
to make out our new patties, and it just didn't catch on.
What's the bar?
It's down, it's down a block and then over like on that street.
I know the exact spot you're talking. Kind of off Irving Plaza a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that spot.
And it's just like, oh, this always got room.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't get it going. I'm like, patties, I love it, but it's like, we're going to lose people along the way.
Yeah, it's 2 blocks.
It's 2 blocks. Yeah, you're right. It was just better when it was next door.
Of course. Yeah. That place is still open, by the way.
What?
That old stand spot.
Patties.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Great spot.
It's so funny, too. You don't go in there for a year and a half. Like, Ari, how you been?
Ah.
It's just like a real bar.
That's what New York used to be, by the way.
Yeah. But, here's what I was going to say, though. When you have comics, we have a cheat code to help us find the places that aren't in blogs.
Yes.
Because you get in, and there's some of the only people I can relate to is other comedians, and I can relate to them anywhere.
Yeah.
As long as they're not kissing up, I
Right.
can relate to them anywhere.
Mhm.
What's the scene like here? How are the shows? How are the hecklers? You know? And then they'll be like, hey, there's this cool place. Oh, cool, let's go. When you start doing drinks and everyone's equal, so that's cool. Hong
That's a
Kong,
good-
all the
good point.
comedians took me out.
Wow. It's so true. You have it's almost like a same language.
Yeah, the barriers get broken down in no time.
Yes.
With like
yes.
a norm, it's like it takes a while longer, especially a fan to get broken down.
Of course, the small talk.
Yeah.
How was your flight? All that. You can just get to it with the comics.
So that's cool. Yeah.
Super fun. We tried to milk as much out of it as we could. We're so excited to be there. So you don't want to sit in the hotel.
You don't want to sit in the hotel.
And I got to hand it to these, it wasn't Live Nation. I think it was ESG or one of these places.
Yeah.
But they hooked up, they were like, we're going to get you the good hotel. Not like the Four Seasons, but like the cool hotel that's in a great spot with a rooftop bar.
Wow.
And it's like the one the comics like because they've done this so many times.
I don't always need that, but it's nice when it's there.
It's
when
nice
I do
when it's
want it, when
there.
I'm like, oh, in Glasgow, I was like, oh shit, I went to meet a friend, and I'm like, oh, this bar closed early. She's like, fuck. I'm like, there is a bar in my hotel.
Yes, exactly.
Let's go there. And it was like, oh, this is nice. And we just had a few drinks. It's like certain things is like, yeah, I might not take it, but it's nice.
Yeah, and the wife likes it too, so it's
Oh,
good for
yeah,
her
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
comfortable.
yeah.
It's what do you call it? Trendy.
Shalom Bite. You know what that is? It's a Jewish term. It means a peace in the house.
Oh.
It means you got to do stuff to keep your fucking bitch from getting bitchy.
What's it called?
Shalom Bites.
Shalom Bite.
Yeah, bite means like house. Bait
Oh.
means like house.
Oh, I thought it meant bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Shalom Bite.
Shalom Bite.
You got to do that one in Israel.
Okay. But yeah, then we.
Otherwise, it's Shalom Bite.
That's great. That's a great
Can hang out with
T-shirt.
you. Yeah,
Well-
Shalom Bite.
So then we fly out of there. We go straight to Adelaide.
Yeah.
Adelaide's they call it the Austin of Australia.
What'd you see there? What was cool there? What'd
There's
you do?
a big strip. I forget the name. It's like kind of a market street type thing with. It looks like Bourbon Street. It's got balconies and bars galore, titty bars, massage parlors, all that shit.
Yeah.
Liquor stores and vape shit. And it's just full of hot young people puking, fucking, fighting. It's super
Suchi
cool.
Hall. There's a street like that everywhere.
Yes. But it's like 6th Street. Like it's a
Wow.
doozy.
Yeah.
And we went to we're with our rep guy, Peter, and he's just showing us all these cool spots. He's like, this is an underground place. This is where Bill Murray drinks when he comes, and this is his seat. And that.
Nice.
He knew all the spots. He's been doing this run for decades. And I will say the show sucked.
It did.
We did it in a convention center kind of place.
Sometimes they put you like, well, this place has more seats, and you get there and you're like, oh, I should have done less seats. This is stupid.
That's what it was.
This is for like dignitaries.
Yes.
This is dumb. Or that sounds like a fucking self-help seminar.
Yes, it felt like the high ceiling was like an airplane hangar with folding chairs. So
In
it just
Berlin,
went
they
back.
put me like out of town, in the Turkish part of out of town, and people are like, "Why are you here?" I'm like, "I don't know. I came here to the coolest city in the world for a reason.
Right.
Let me play fucking Kreuzberg or somewhere fucking anyway, whatever. Sorry.
The only good thing about that
Yeah.
show was we had an opener there because I was like, give me some Australian comics so they can open the show just so I can see
like
them
doing
and meet
that,
them.
yeah.
And this guy James McCann, I don't know if you heard of him. He ripped it. He was great material, super funny guy, good hang. And I said, let's get him on the whole tour. So he
nice.
came to Sydney with us. He came to Melbourne. He was all over the
You
place.
got a picture of him?
I don't actually.
look him up.
Look him up. He opened for Gillis too out there. So he's been picked.
So I got into an interesting discussion. I think in Adelaide, wasn't Brisbane. Said him coming from Australia. James Donald McCann.
That's him.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Crazy voice, crazy like, hello, I'm Australian.
Australia. Yeah, I think I've met him. Nah, probably younger back
He had
then.
a great, he had a whole Kanye chunk about Jews, and he was like, they compare hip hop, or they're calling Kanye West a Nazi, and he's like,
Yeah.
well, rappers and Nazis are kind of similar. They both like to run trains. They're all from the ghetto.
That's
and
good.
Something with their band. I can't remember, but he had some great stuff.
That's good. I'd gotten to a discussion in Adelaide. I was talking to, I can't remember. Damian Powers was there. And then he left. He was like the best one there.
Uh-huh.
And then this guy, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, opened, and he was great, And I was talking outside. We were smoking weed outside, and two of the young comics were like to this guy. They're like, "You're the best one in Adelaide." He's like, "Oh, thanks." And they're like, and the guy got serious, like, "No, for real though. You know that, right? You're the best. You're the best comic in this town." He
Yeah.
goes- and he did know. You could tell from the reaction. He did. Know.
Oh, nice.
We got into a long discussion about whether it's better to be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond.
Interesting.
And
I have my theory, but I want to hear yours.
well, what we talked about then is mentally, you got one life, and forget about your accolades and stuff like that. And it's just like how much joy you have in your life. A 72-degree sunny day is better than a fucking 50-degree day and raining.
Yeah.
And you can't have all the time, because the crops will die. But like on that day, it's nicer for you to have 72 and sunny. Because when you go around town and everyone's like, "Hey, you're so funny. You're that funny guy." Because it's just better for you mentally than being in New York or London or somewhere when everyone's like, "Excuse me, get out of the way," where you're a nobody.
Aha. That makes sense, but when you're the nobody, you can work your way up, which I think is even more satisfying than being the big fish.
But so a lot of people have in their mind when they say small fish in a big pond that they're going to be the big fish in the big pond
Eventually.
But that's not it. It's
I
small
see.
fish. It's Sean Patton.
Forever.
Yeah, it's Sean Patton
forever.
forever.
Okay. Yeah, that's tough.
Sean Patton here or Sean Patton in New Orleans?
Right.
You know?
I don't know. I feel like the small fish has more, even if you never make it,
It's
you still have
still
more
better.
opportunity,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
get to watch these greats. You get to watch your
And you
David
get a lot
Tells.
better. I think you start with this and you get to that, and you're like, I've tripled in
Yes.
size. You're still a small fish, but like you're so much better than you would have been. This little tiny-
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would go then. I think it's good to push the ball. What is that old Louis thing where he said, "I got too big. I was up on Mount Everest, but you're alone up there."
Wow.
And it's the
interesting.
air is thin. You can't live up there. You want to be the
Yeah.
guy walking up the mountain.
Wow. Interesting.
Hey, he's a smart guy.
He's a smart guy.
Whatever happened to
Yeah,
him?
I don't know.
I don't know. All right.
Guys, I got to break in to give you my dates. I'm a stand-up comic. If you're just finding out about this through the travel route, you might not know that, but I'm a stand-up comic. It's the only thing I've ever loved doing in my life. And I'm on the road. First and foremost, I'm recording my new stand-up comedy special. April 26th and 27th in Washington, D.C. at the Capitol Turnaround. Get tickets right now at arishafir.com. April 27th is almost gone. Hurry up and get April 26th. Or if you can get April 27th, get that if it's still anything available. My new stand-up comedy special, The Jew Stuff, is done. And I've moved on. And let's wrap up. Oh, also, there's a pre-sale right now for Australia, Friday at noon, March 22nd at noon. Melbourne, Adelaide, Canberra, Brisbane, Sydney, starting on May 17th, ending June 1st, just in time for a little thing called State of Origin, one of the greatest sporting events ever. I made my whole tour around that. And then here's where I'm going to be with Colin Terrell and Ryan O'Neill and one other person I don't know, starting March 21st at the Raleigh Improv. First show sold out. Second show still got tickets. Asheville sold out March 22nd. Charlotte, I'll just run through them. Charleston, Birmingham, Nashville sold out March 26th. Huntsville, both shows, sorry. Huntsville, Knoxville, Memphis, Lexington, Cleveland, both shows sold out on March 31st. Cincinnati, first show sold out. I'm adding a show in Cleveland on April 2nd. Guess what? Hurry up. Maybe I'll do 2 shows there. Hurry up, April 2nd. Columbus, first show sold out April 3rd. Added a second one. Grand Rapids, Detroit, and Toronto, making my triumphant return. First time in 5 years at the Queen Elizabeth Theater on April 6th. First show sold out. Second show's added. Oh, and then I got more I just announced. Halifax, first time ever there. On April 11th at the Lighthouse Arts Center. April 12th at the Bronson Center in Ottawa. 13th in Rutland, Vermont at the Paramount. 14th in Huntington, New York at the Paramount. April 20th, 420 in Austin, Texas at the Paramount. 3 Paramounts in a row. And then April 26th, my special, April 26th and 27th in Washington, D.C. at the Capitol Turnaround. It's going to be a riot in the Capitol, a Capitol riot. And then also I'll be at the Netflix is a Joke Festival doing my storytelling show May 9th and 10th. It's a good stopover on the way to Australia. Also, Mark Norman is tickets are all available at arishafir.com/tour. Hurry up and get them. They're reasonably priced. I saved $20 tickets, $50 for every show at a theater for all you poor people out there. And at the clubs, it's like $35 because there's no service charges, so I can charge you a normal amount. Here's where Mark's going to be. You can get these at marknormandcomedy.com. He's also one of the best comics in the country, thereby the world right now. We're the #1 country. Let me just run through his dates. Starting March 22nd, it might be too late, El Paso, Albuquerque, Memphis, these are all theaters, Little Rock, Bristol, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Syracuse, Buffalo, Minneapolis, 2 shows on April 19th at the State Theater. Madison, 2 shows. Bloomington, Evansville, Los Angeles for the Netflix is a Joke Festival. Damn, he won't be around for my storytelling show. Well, he won't be on it. He's there May 3rd. Victoria, Canada. Oh, I'm jealous of that one. Vancouver, Canada. Royal Oak, Michigan. Fort Wayne, West Palm, Fort Myers, New Haven, Connecticut, Boston, Massachusetts. 2 different places. The Boch Center. No, Schubert Theater, both times. June 8th. Philadelphia, Munhall, Pennsylvania, Seattle, Washington, Spokane, Washington. Finishes June 22nd. Get tickets for him at marknormancomedy.com. Now you know we're both stand-up comics. It's all we love doing. Come see us. Also check out Mark Norman's podcast, We Might Be Drunk, that I'm on this week with Dan St. Germain for St. Patrick's Day. I'm on his latest episode. Go check it out. And also the Tuesdays with Stories podcast. Now you know. Now let's get back to the episode.
And then we left Adelaide. We did 2 days there, in and out, and then we went straight to Brisbane.
You went up to Brisbane first?
Wait, no. Sydney. Went straight to Sydney, and Sydney might have been the highlight. It whisked us off our feet.
Yes, Sydney's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They kept saying it's the L.A., but I felt more Chicago. Big buildings with the river right there. You know, it felt
L.A. in that they call Toronto L.A. No, they call Toronto New York.
New York,
but it's the L.A. of stand-up because it's the place where they shoot stuff.
Oh, I didn't know.
So
that.
maybe they meant it like that.
Maybe.
The river right there? What do you mean?
Well, they have the big ocean. They have the Opera House, and I shouldn't have said river, but you go to Bondi Beach.
Did you?
I did. 15 minutes away, they have the Arctic polar bear plunge. We did that.
What do you mean, that pool?
The giant pool. I have photos of that.
Let me see.
All right.
The pool where just the waves come and wash over you?
Yes.
Whoa.
It was
I
incredible.
was above that on the cliff walk.
Oh,
and
really?
I see that, and I stayed for like an hour just watching. You're swimming, and then a fucking massive wave collapses over you.
It's freezing. I mean, it's ice cold, but boy, does it wake you up.
Wow.
There's McCann. That's him. We're in the bottom of a bar
Nice.
in the middle of Sydney. Hold on. There's Bondi. There's the pool.
There's the pool. Wow.
Oh, hold on. That's us in front of the pool.
Shalom
That's me
Bite.
outside the pool. That's
Stand-up picture sucks.
there it is.
Wow.
So you can just get in, and there's the ocean right there.
and
It's
it comes
so
right over,
pretty.
and that's the wave. That's the lap right there.
That's
or
the lap pool. That's the wave pool.
Wow.
And we had dinner up there.
You had dinner up there.
Yeah, on the balcony.
Interesting.
I got to send you these because this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
bad
No,
pod.
you'll send me. Oh,
Okay.
we'll put them over the video.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
Incredible and freezing, and we didn't have bathing suits. We just went up there, like, let's go see it, and we just got in our underwear and went in, and then had lunch and had a couple beers. You got the fucking waves crashing, and really, really pretty, really cool. That
I know
Is
it's
it-
off.
oh, yeah, there you go.
We'll just get it later.
oh yeah, I'm on auto airplane,
Yeah, messages.
like an airdrop.
Yeah, but why not just like let me send it and don't? All right, Shaffir, there we go. But why do you have to? Anyway,
And you got to go to settings, get out of airdrop, or just do the swipe
Yeah,
thing
do
on
the
the
swipe
top.
thing.
There you go.
But I'm saying, like, why wouldn't it just let me send it and then just say couldn't go through? Oh, to download. He's got to download it. All right.
My phone's got 0 store. There you go. Now it's
Okay.
cooking. Give it 3 seconds. It's going.
What a fucking mistake on my part. I'll just get all these later.
Yeah, we'll do that later. I'll send them
Okay.
all to you.
Back to airplane.
There you go.
That's cool. What'd you get into there? What'd you eat?
We had calamari. We tried to keep it seafoody.
Totally first world, right?
Yeah.
Australia?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And
Keep it
just
seafoody. That's smart. Yeah.
great time, and it's 15 minutes away. And then again, you go through Bondi, and you're like, look at all these shops. I want to come back here. Look at all
Yeah.
these thrift stores and bars and restaurants. There was fish tacos everywhere, and she went thrift store shopping.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
I hung out there with. Well, first time I ever really met and talked to Ryan Hamilton. They did JFL there, and I was just there on tour myself. And they're like,
Oh,
"Let's go-
wow.
we're all going to Bondi. You want to come tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And it was like, it's a giant beach.
huge beach with hot people. There's no garbage. There's no shit. There's guys walking by with surfboards across the
Yeah.
crosswalk. It's a good vibe out there.
You know what I loved? And it was closer to Bondi than downtown, but still even downtown. The chicks with jean shorts and bikini tops.
Oh, that's hot.
They'd wear bikinis as a bra.
Yes.
Because they might at any time go into a pool.
Exactly. And then they fold the
jeans
jean
down.
short.
Oof.
Oh, that's hot with the white sneakers. Get out
It's
of
really
here.
only Sydney and San Diego.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good look. The brown,
good
tan
look.
skin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brown because they're out in the sun all day.
And the hair's kind of messy from the sand.
Yep.
Woo, doggy.
Even when they're fat, it's still a smooth fat.
Yes, like a seal.
Yeah.
So Bondi was cool, and I love when it's close. You know,
Uh-huh.
you can just go do stuff. We got
So
on
it
the
doesn't take a day to get out there.
exactly. You lose all the time with travel. One day we took a ferry to Manly.
Okay.
Manly's an island. It's basically like a governor's island or something like that, and it's just people live there. It's almost like Montauk.
Oh.
You know, it's a 30-minute ferry. It's $5.
Oh.
You go there. We had lunch there, and we sat on the beach and had lunch. And then you go up on a balcony. You have a mojito. You look at the whole city, and then you go back.
Ferries, I'm starting to realize, are an underrated mode of travel.
Oh, the best because you're sightseeing while
They're
on
fun
the
on their
travel.
own. It's
Yeah.
like a little short boat trip that you
Yes.
also like. This is fun.
And there's a bar on there. You get a soda.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Get some sun in your face. So we went to Manly. Manly was cool. Then you go back and you realize, well, wow, people live here. People write books on Manly. They just
Oh,
come
really?
here to live. Yeah, it's like a Hemingway thing.
Damn. First of all, can I just say that you do road, especially in places like that, really well.
I try.
Yeah, you
you're,
get out there.
you're hungover, but you push.
You're hungover and probably jet lagged, and I'm
Yeah.
sure the incentive is to be like, I just want to go to bed.
Of course.
But it's like, when are you going back there?
Exactly. And when you look back on the trip, you're not thinking about the hangover. You're thinking about, oh, we saw Bondi.
Yes.
You know? So
Yeah,
you just push
you're-
through.
Red Band called me. Him and Tony went to Australia, and he was like, any tips? They're all going to a koala sanctuary. Any tips? I'm really tired, but I should get over this jet lag. And I told him, I was like, hey, dude, you're going to look back on this in 10 years, and you're not going to remember the sleep.
Yes.
You will be tired and cranky, but you'll never get a chance to touch a koala again.
Yeah.
So I would say suck it up. Don't even nap for a minute. Just suck it up and be cranky. Realize you're cranky, and then try not to be a dick to anybody. But like, you want to be out there. And he
Yeah.
goes, great advice.
Great advice.
Took a nap anyway and missed the koala thing.
Ah.
And so he has no memory of it. But you do.
You got that right. And I got the photo. But now with CGI, he can just put a koala in instead of
You
his
really
girlfriend.
can, huh?
Yeah. So I still think you should do it and suck
What'd you
it
do?
up.
How'd you do it? I'm always afraid they're gonna fucking try to gouge. Like,
What do you mean?
Just like rip my guts out.
Well, the koala thing is weird because you go to this little sanctuary or whatever,
Yeah.
zoo thing, petting zoo, and they go, who wants to take a picture of the koala? It's $20.
Oh.
And then they wheel out this koala, and it's almost like a donkey show or a hooker where they're feeding it eucalyptus just so it doesn't spaz out.
Yeah.
And then they take a photo with it. They go, don't look it in the eyes. Don't touch it. It's like a stripper. And then they wheel it back. And he's like missing patches of fur and stuff. You really feel horrible for the koala. And then kids are like grabbing at it and stuff and jumping on it. Oh, it was brutal.
It's like the fly koala.
Yeah.
They look
yeah.
at it in its captivity.
Exactly.
And he's just like, kill me.
But they are fucking cute. And they eat that eucalyptus and they get a little high so they chill out. But beautiful. We fed the kangaroos.
Where was this?
This is in Sydney.
In Sydney.
Yeah.
Did you go to the zoo?
It was its own thing. It was like
okay.
a petting zoo, kind of little zoo.
Wow.
Super
That's
fun.
You
Super
fed-
hands-on.
You fed kangaroos.
Oh, yeah. We got photos of that, too.
Yeah, let me see that.
Um,
That's so cool.
yeah, it was fun. Fed the kangaroo.
Dude, you're dangerous now that you got money.
I know, right?
Because before you wanted to do stuff, but you were cheap, so it's like you'd find a ride somewhere, find whatever. But now with money, where it's like, oh, you can pay $100 or $20 for a picture or whatever.
Yeah.
Now you're a fucking threat.
Swipe through that a little bit.
Wow.
The
Oh, look at
kangaroos.
you touching them.
Oh, yeah, very friendly. And
Wow,
they
right out of your hand. There's
eat
two
right
little
out of your
baby
hand.
ones.
Yeah, they give you pellets. And they let you hold the koala. I saw a dingo. I saw...
Oh, that's just.
That's a goat.
That's a goat.
There was a goat
we
there. I
have
said,
those.
fuck it. Let me give the goat some love. Nobody was touching the
Wow,
goats.
You're touching the koala.
Yeah, I
right
got a little
there.
butt touch. They weren't crazy about that. You can see I'm wicked hungover because of the. Sorry, my phone's got.
It's okay.
That's a light show in Sydney with the drones.
Oh.
Super cool. So we landed in Sydney at like 5, and I said, "What are we doing tonight?" And they said, "There's a light show, 5-minute walk from your hotel, at 7." I said, "Put the bags down. We'll get dinner,
what a
and we'll go
great
do that."
tip. It's like, oh,
Beautiful.
in 2 hours, enough time to like chill. Because
Yeah.
like in 10 minutes, like, I need to brush my teeth.
That's true.
Oh, that's perfect. And so you went to it. They did that here with the dragons.
Exactly.
But you were up close.
We were up close, right on the water, and you got the bridge there, and all the buildings are lit up. They have projected weird designs on the buildings. So we had dinner outside, and
That's
yeah,
so funny.
so hungover there.
Really?
That's why I'm wearing the sunglasses. And so the city like whisked us off our feet immediately.
There's the
That's the
bridge.
harbor. That's
I took a shit on that bridge.
oh really?
My pants.
You're allowed to climb. That's the La Palais Theater in Melbourne, right on the ocean. That's me with a bunch of drunk guys.
They drink so fucking hard. Did you do any cocaine in Australia?
I've never done it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Did you see people going for cocaine?
Oh yeah. Oh
With their
yeah.
names? It's so interesting, the cocaine use of Australia.
They love it, and we found a bag on the ground, and my buddy James was like, "You should sell that because it was probably like a 50 bag or 100 bag. You
Yeah.
can sell for $600 there." So we were like, "All right." So we sold it to some guy for $400.
100?
Yeah. So we made $350
What do you mean?
because it was probably a 50 bag in America, but there it was. I guess we made
You
$4
off
because it was
$4.
free.
it's
Yeah,
free.
good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Just like on my Jewish side, I'm like, no, your margins are off. You got to do the math better.
Good point.
Good point. Yeah, they love Coke, and they always go do it all the time, and it's shitty. It's bad Coke. There.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, they did a bunch of it, and the guy goes, "This is K," and we were like, "Oh, sorry, we didn't know," but we were
Get what
long
you get,
gone.
bro.
Yeah. So
Love ketamine too.
a lot of drinking too. We really overdrank
Really?
every night because you're just like, keep it going. I'm in Australia. Fuck it, there's no rules.
Also, you told me this once where you're like, then you started like consistently headlining. You go back to, I'll just say Tulsa, but anywhere really. And they're like, are we going partying again? Last time you were here 3 years ago, we partied hard. You're like, oh, I only had 8 weeks on the road then. So
yeah.
I'm in the middle of a 9-week run. I'm actually just gonna like work on some clips.
Yeah.
And they're like, come on. But in Australia, it's like you're on vacation.
You're on the other side of the world. You got all the podcasts are banked.
Yeah.
You're just doing this.
Oh, great.
It was fun.
Yeah. How did you deal with like work for a month getting out of it?
It wasn't easy, but that's where the drinking comes in. You know, you're sick of the suitcase, you're sick of the hotel, you're sick of the flight, so you kind of drink to therapeutize.
That's not what I mean.
Oh.
I mean like every comic I talk to where I'm like, hey, you're getting stressed. You need to get out of town for a month. You need to go on vacation. Like, I got this podcast I got to do. I'm saying, how did you work it where you could free yourself up for a month?
I did a good thing, which I never do. I'm a hate confrontation. I hate all that. So
Yeah,
I said,
for sure, that is you.
June we went to Australia. So in March, I told Joe and Sam, hey, I'm going to be gone in June, and we got ahead of it. And that was the best thing I ever did.
Great. Smart.
Yeah, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to just go, oh, I'm leaving tomorrow. Sorry, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and then you have to zoom in from Australia to wake up at 4 a.m. and do a Zoom and forget it.
And then they hate you. They're like, why didn't you tell us? And
Yeah.
I'm scared of that initial moment where they
You
go,
are.
oh, geez.
I remember I was taken from the old stand to Stand Up New York, taking a cab, and you were on at 5. Like, I'm almost there. I'm like, don't tell them you're almost there, Mark. Tell them to get another
You're right.
comic because you're 28 minutes away. There's literally no chance.
You're so
They're
right.
on the street looking for you. I'm like, you're avoiding that one moment,
For way
but
worse.
it's gonna come.
And it's going to be worse later.
It's gonna be worse. Just
You're
like,
right.
oh, put on maybe even 2 comics. I am nowhere close.
Well, I've got
It's like that. It's like that trip to Salt Lake to Wise Guys from Park City. And
geez.
Keith called and he goes, "You guys closed?" And I was like, "No, it's only 7:15." He goes, "Yeah, show starts at 7." And I was like,
Yeah.
Keith, I got to be honest with you, man. We're probably 40 minutes away.
And that was the right thing to do.
Yeah. And Keith is so cool.
He's
he was
the
cool
best.
with you missing before. He was
Yeah,
like, "That's all right.
yeah.
We'll just give some refunds." And it's like, oh, all right.
And it's so cool because that's all over. At the time, that's the biggest problem in your life. You change, you give your left nut to just fix
Yeah.
that, but it's all
Nobody in
done.
Park City knows the fucking effort he made to. He shouldn't have missed his flight, but once he did miss it, to get there for those last 2 shows
There you go.
was monumental.
All right, I'll
And
take
to
it.
hang for the fucking at least a day or 2 of skiing.
Of course, yeah. These people who miss that. Like, of course, you all have that initial, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to think and plan and get out of bed. But once you're there, I was like, I'm on the top of that mountain with the ski in my face and the snow in my ass. And I go, I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. So Sydney seems fun as shit.
Sydney was beautiful, and it was a real city, you know, where you go to
It's a real
Perth, which is
city.
almost a town, and Adelaide, which is just kind of a college town.
Oh,
and then
interesting.
Sydney was like, a city. And we needed that. We needed
Yeah.
the nice restaurants. We needed the bars. We needed the trolley going down. We took the tram every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that was really nice. And there's stuff to do, the light show, the ferry, the Manly, the Bondi. There's so much.
I went to. Nope. Sorry, it was Melbourne.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I went to the. Kylie took me to a promoter. Great advice once. She was like, "There's one secret." I can't do the accent.
I can't either.
To being good comedy. And I was like, "What is it?" He goes, "Do bad rooms. Just do bad rooms. That's the only answer. Do bad rooms."
That's good advice.
It is good. I was like, no, wait, because it was so simple. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's it. Don't have it easy.
Yeah.
Do bad rooms and you'll get better. Ah, shit.
I did that I did a gig in Montauk last night.
Really?
Yeah, I just drove back last night. I got home at 2 a.m, but it was a weird room. But
Where was it? The magazine guys?
no,
place?
it's called the Clubhouse
Oh, okay.
and the Hamptons. Boy, you forget you drive out there, you're like, this is amazing. This
Yeah,
is right
very
here,
wealthy.
3 hours away.
What was I going to say about Australia, about Sydney? Fuck.
The problem with Sydney was we stayed too long.
Interesting.
We
Why?
stayed 5 days because they're like, you're going to want to see Sydney. You're going to want to do stuff. And we sold a bunch of tickets there, so they kept adding nights.
Yeah.
And we went to Melbourne and only had a day and a half. And Melbourne's amazing, too.
Melbourne, I went to the David Bowie exhibit.
Whoa.
That's it. I was going to say, Kylie took me there.
Worth it?
So worth it. And then I saw it here in the Brooklyn Museum, I think, and they took out stuff.
Oh,
They had a
interesting.
giant display in Melbourne because a lot of these places, it's shocking how they don't shy away from their counterculture.
Yeah.
So in Christiania, in Copenhagen, there's class field trips to little kids where they sell weed.
Yeah.
The red light district in Amsterdam, little kids know about that. They don't shy it away. It's like part of their city. So they're just cooler with stuff. They had a giant display of this is before he died too, of David. I think so. David Bowie's Coke spoons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they didn't have that one here.
Why would you hide that?
Why would you hide it?
We know he was a drug
He was
addict
so
weirdo.
into it. Like,
yeah.
What?
That's silly.
Yeah, but I like Melbourne a lot because it seemed more artsy. It
Yeah.
seemed that's where all the murals were and the fucking graffiti and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough.
I like Melbourne too. It feels almost more European there. It felt very
interesting.
French, like the Palais Theater, and it's right on the ocean, and it's so clean. And I remember I had a moment. This is where I get cheesy and gay.
Okay. Okay.
We land. I go to the theater. I'd done the festival there years ago, and to come from the festival as a nobody and then come
Doing
out and
15.
sell. Yeah, 2015.
No, doing 15 minutes.
Doing 15 minutes, nobody, bombing a lot, whatever, getting drunk, trying to get on other shows, nobody would have me. To coming back a couple years later, 8 years later, whatever,
Yeah.
and doing 2 shows at this big, giant, beautiful theater on the ocean.
Wow.
So before the show started, the show was at 7. I got there at 6:30. I go, you guys go in. I'm going to walk around. I walk to the ocean. I see a guy playing guitar alone. There's no one on the boardwalk. I'm looking at the ocean. It's beautiful. I look at the theater. I go, I can't believe this. And then some guy goes, you fag, on a bike. And I was like, all right, we made it.
Not a fan, just a
regular
saw
guy.
the shorts you were wearing.
And I went in, and we had a hot set, and there's a big chandelier. The theater is ornate, and like Charlie Chaplin played here. What the hell, and all that. So it was pretty great.
That's cool because it's like in the same city. You can like see the jump.
Yes.
It's like when you haven't seen a kid in like 7 years.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Yes, yeah. And it's so gradual. I compare it to the notches on the wall when you grow up with your dad, and he's making you the height notches. You don't really feel taller, but then you go, holy shit, I'm here now. I used to be
2 more
here.
inches. 3 inches. That's real.
That's huge.
That's awesome, man.
So it's all downhill from here,
awesome.
is my point. But
remember we were at Chappelle's movie. You were just there for the free food.
Oh yeah.
And one of the promoter guys was talking to you. I don't know if you remember this. It just hit me right now. And he was like, I'm like, oh, dude, they're about to start wooing you. This is a year and a half ago.
Wooing you.
They're like, you're gonna make them a lot of money at theaters soon.
Oh, I see.
So he's
Wooing.
kissing up to you.
Oh,
And you were like,
yeah.
you think? I'm like, yeah. And now it's already happened.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh.
But good eye.
Yeah. He didn't even ask me to say hi. He was like, hey, Ari, so Mark, what'd you think of the movie? And I was like, yeah, they see you as a fucking fish soon.
The low self-esteem kicks in where you don't ever believe anyone would do that to you.
Yeah. What do you wish you had known about Australia before you went? And then what would you tell someone else to avoid or to like make sure to do?
Ooh, good question. Good question.
You know, because there's a lot of it doesn't have to be the only thing, but just like when people tell me they're going to Perth, I'm like, check out the fucking. It's dumb, but if you have an extra night, check out the haunted tour of the prison.
I would say
Quokkas for sure.
pretty much what you said is you do the dumb hacky shit. I know it's silly, but just do it. You're never going to do it again. Get it over with. And I would say check out something you'd never heard of. Like whatever I talk to the locals because we would say, we're going to go to a bar. Where should we go? And instead of Googling it, I would ask the comics and they go, there's a bar. It's the oldest bar in Sydney. It's underground. It's in a big barrel, then you have to go in and then check out the back room.
Right, that.
Stuff like that.
Right, exactly. You get that real advice where it's like, nice.
So we took the baggie of Coke. We're at this old bar, and they go, there's a liquor a cellar downstairs. Do you want to go see it? It's got all the oldest liquors and the $1 million shot, whatever.
Cool.
So we go and we get a tour of that, and I bring out the bag of Coke, and the guy giving the tour did a bump. And I was like, this is a great moment. And that's that picture of James McCann and May, my wife, and they're like, because he took a bump and all, and they're just like all having a great time.
Still didn't do any.
I couldn't do it. Well, it was Kay
I'll
also.
be honest. Well, good point. I wouldn't do it in Australia. I would wait till you're in London next.
Yeah.
London or somewhere in Europe.
Okay.
It's just better there.
And, you got to kind of keep your wits about you. You're like, all right, if we go to bed in an hour, we'll get 4 hours.
Actually, don't even ever do it. Fuck
okay.
It's stupid. Yeah, we got to go to bed soon.
Yeah. We kind of on a schedule, which sucked because you want to just chill.
The sucky thing about traveling for stand-up is that you do have to be somewhere at some point.
Yes.
If you were just going to Australia, at any moment you and May could have been like, hey, you know what? I'm done a day early. I know we paid for this hotel, but fuck, you want to just go to Melbourne anyway?
Yeah.
And just get on the earlier flight? And you'd be like, yeah, I'm done here. Let's go.
Right.
And you just can't do that. Like, no, I have a show tonight, or I have a show tomorrow, or like I'm in the middle of having fun. It's 5 o'clock. Let's drink. I'm like, shit, guys, in 2 hours, I got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
It gets in the way.
It does get in the way, but I think you need a little of both.
Yeah, I mean, it does, but also gets you out there.
Would
you have gone anyway? No.
Exactly. Definitely not. So then we left there. We did Melbourne for like a day and a half. We were in, we were out. That sucked.
Yeah.
And then we went straight to Brisbane. And so the lady left. She was like, it's already been 2 weeks. She was like, I got to go. So we went to Brisbane. Brisbane's a cool
also
town.
Extremely hot. It's up.
No, I don't think it's up there, is it? They keep
Brisbane
going.
right
There
here.
you go.
Yeah.
Coastal city. It felt more like
alligators here.
Yeah.
Can't go in the water.
No, although we did.
You can go Great Barrier Reef.
Oh, okay.
Which is like out there. No, I'm thinking of somewhere else. I'm thinking of up here.
Oh, okay.
Timor.
Oh, Papua New Guinea.
Why did I think that they had a boardwalk that it's like no beach? It's just like board over because they're like, oh, it's crocodile shit.
They do have that. They did.
They do.
That was
Oh,
there.
okay.
But you have to go out to get to the ocean,
Right.
which we did. It was like
okay.
a 20-minute drive. Because we wanted to go surfing.
Right.
And, of course, we were hungover, and me and Youngblood were like, fuck it, I can't do it. And he's kind of fat, so he was like, I can't surf anyway.
Kind of. Yeah.
And we just said, God damn it, screw it, we're going. And we went, and we had so much fun, and it woke us up, and it was rejuvenating and great.
Wow.
And then we did shows that night.
It is like just get out there and go, and you'll just be going.
Yeah.
Even if it's a dumb thing, I call them statues, like seeing the statues, because like, listen, when I'm in, I don't even know where, any city, New York, you know, it's like, well, I'm visiting New York for the first time, I got to see the Empire State Building.
Mhm.
Okay, sure. But mostly it's going to bars and like going
Yeah,
to music
yeah.
shows and Broadway and like doing shit. But the statues is what might get you out a little bit. And then the fourth time you're in New York, you're like, I've already seen the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
Now I'm just here for a good time. But the statues, meaning also the beach, the quokkas
Yes.
or whatever, get you moving.
Totally get you moving, and it's just somewhere to go, because you sit there going, should we do this? No, I don't know about that. How about that? No, and you can't decide on anything, but if you just have to go,
Yeah.
you go. And that's what I would say don't do.
What?
I think a big part of our fuck up on the tour was like, where are we going to eat? Now we're spending 45 minutes going, Thai, I don't know. And you're like, we could have been to Wendy's and done with it.
Yep.
Why do we all know what a banh mi tastes like. It's not going to taste different in Australia.
Yeah.
I get if you're going to get kangaroo.
Yeah.
But we sat there for hours. We wasted hours
Trying
going,
to find the 4.8 place instead
yes,
of a 4.6.
Yes, exactly.
Dude, I finally just got free to this. I live in New York City, and it's one of the best food scenes in the world,
yeah.
definitely of the country. And if I'm going to Montauk, I don't have to go to the best restaurant. Just give me some fish and chips. Get me back to the fucking beach.
That's it.
It's going to be worse food.
Yes.
Granted, you're in Mexico City, get some tacos.
All
you're
right.
in fucking Vietnam, get some banh mi's. But if you're not in a place that's a food place, if you're in Austin, for sure, go to get some barbecue. Once. But once you've gotten that, every meal doesn't have to be an experience because
Yes.
we live in a better city than that.
Exactly.
So
And-
yeah, get in and out. Got a sandwich at this deli? Get it and go.
Right. Pad Thai. You guys want pad Thai? I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not really feeling it. I kind of want a burrito. Oh, let me look at the burrito. I'm like, hour later. And then you got to find the right one. And you go, all right, well, we got to get an Uber. Then it's going to be a 20-minute drive. Then you got to get back in the Uber after. It's brutal.
It's brutal.
Your whole day's gone.
Yeah. If make some reservations if it's like London or Mexico City or a high-level place at the fine restaurants you want to go at before you even get off the plane.
Yes.
Make them
yes.
last week.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, hey, Tuesday we have reservations at Pool or whatever. It's
Right.
like, sweet. We'll go to that.
We had a mall next to us in Sydney, and
Just get a bite and go. Just let me get a baguette.
I watched them start looking at food places, and I went to the mall, ate at the food court, and came back, and I still hadn't figured it out.
That's why I love Paris. It really was like I'll pass a baguettorio or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And I'll just get that, a couple croissants, and we'll go.
There you
We
go.
can walk and eat.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's such a waste of time and a waste of money.
Australia is not known. The meat pies would be the only thing I would say. Get that while you're there.
Yeah, but that's 2 seconds.
That's 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven, in and out.
But
yeah.
but like it's not known for food.
No, it's not. And they have good Asian food. There was a ton of Asians in
Sure,
that,
okay,
that
but it's
area.
like if you've never had Asian food, it's not because you live in this city. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like you
exactly.
can find it here too.
Right.
Look, if you're there for a month and you feel like I feel like Chinese today, then go get some.
Yeah.
But yeah, good. That's good tip. Don't get caught up with food.
Don't get caught up because no one can make a decision.
And the best place is not the best place. It's just
no. It's all Google. It's all just.
I mean, you told me this once
5-star.
about a sandwich place, I think in Paris, of just like or maybe Italy.
Yes.
Just an amazing sandwich. It was just like, let's just get one. And the guy handmade it
That
for
was
you.
it. Yeah.
Where was that?
That was in the Amalfi Coast.
The Amalfi
We went
Coast.
into a bodega. She was like, I can't even go find a restaurant. I'm so hungry. I'm just gonna go in here. And I was like, all right. And the guy took a half hour to make a tuna sandwich. It was the best sandwich I've ever had in my life.
What an experience.
Yes.
And by the way, those are everywhere. They're just not highly rated, but
Yeah.
they're everywhere. You just got to get. It's nice to get lucky.
It's nice to get lucky, and you lose sometimes too. You go,
You
that was
lose.
the worst pizza I've ever had in my
Absolutely.
life. But who cares? Hunger comes and goes.
Yeah.
You'll have another hunger.
You have
or
and it'll
appetite.
make the shitty meals. Don't intentionally get a shitty meal, but it makes the better meals more special.
Yeah.
And they're not every single fucking meal.
Yeah. So Brisbane was surfing was so cool, and
Wow.
it's such a cool sport. I get it now. I used to be like, why do people do that every 6 a.m.? I'm not getting up at 6 a.m. Now
It's
I
amazing
get it.
these potheads can wake up early and
I know.
get it done.
That's how alluring it is.
Yeah.
Something about the water and the standing on water. It's very primal.
And your girlfriend wasn't there then.
No,
So
she
you
was
didn't
gone.
have to tell her to paddle away if any male
Yeah.
was nearby.
Yeah, exactly.
You told
exactly.
Youngblood, hey, if any other comets come by, you got to paddle. Damn, that's great. So you surfed. Fuck, that's so cool.
The shows were great there, not to get too into comedy, but it was a 400-seater,
Yeah.
but you do 2 a night
Yeah.
instead of one big theater a night, and it was way more fun because it was like a club.
Dude, you're in this stage right now where they're gonna lie to you and tell you that the bigger rooms are better.
I know.
And you know for a fact that a 230-seat room is way better. So it's like it's a trade-off for the money or the thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's smaller. It's like that.
Yeah, give me
trying to have a
4
good
nights
time.
in
Trying
the
to give-
small room and add up to the big theater, and that's just as good to me.
That's what I want to do in Seattle. I was like, all the venues there charge like so much for Ticketmaster, and the same companies own all 3 of them, every level. So like it's gonna be 40% on top of the tickets, and I was like, I hate it so much.
40%.
I get so mad. So I'm like, I'll just do the Crocodile, the old Crocodile. It was a rock room. Nirvana played there, and they were like, yeah, but it's 180 seats, dude.
Wow.
You don't want to be there for a week? And then it hit me. I'm like, yes, I do
Yes,
actually.
yes.
I'd love to be in Seattle for a week.
And you get so
That'd
much
be great.
work done, and you
Yeah.
can see more of the city,
Yeah,
and you
I'm
can
not
relax
traveling
more.
all the time.
Yeah.
I did 6 nights in Denver. It was so fun.
Wow. Good for you.
Instead of In and Out.
The Works?
The Works, yes.
Yeah.
6 nights. It was
Great
just
club.
like, I don't know, I'm here. We got a great condo.
Yeah.
I'm fucking here. Me and Simpson.
Oh, Brian?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
great.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And he's so chill. He's like so
He's very
laid back.
chill. What did we do today?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so
So yeah, Brisbane was cool because also, you lose the lady, which you miss the lady, but you can also like kind of
there's some
sleep in a little more.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to worry about lunch, and
you don't have to worry
all
about
that.
getting the right place to impress them. With Youngblood,
Yes.
it's like you're on equal footing.
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't want this. I was like, is this good
Yes,
enough? You don't feel like
yes.
you have to impress at all times. Even though I know you're married, it's still like you're constantly taking care of them.
Yeah, you can shit with the door open, you can rub one out,
Uh-huh.
all that good stuff. You're hungover, you're just like, I'm gonna just lay here.
Yeah.
She's like, wait, we should get breakfast, which is great, but it was a nice mix.
Yeah.
And then we had the great time at the shows. We're working on material. We could fuck around a little bit. We're getting clips. I did a Shoey eventually.
You did a Shoey.
Because they keep yelling Shoey at every show.
But that's not something they do.
I
is
got
it-
it every single
No,
show.
no. But I mean, like,
Oh.
if you were living there, you wouldn't see a Shoey at a bar.
No.
Would you?
Maybe at
That's
a
a-
UFC fight.
That's a novelty thing.
Total novelty. But they kept yelling it. So we came up with a plan.
What's the plan?
Because I kept turning them down. They go, boo, do a Shoey. And I was like, I'm not doing a Shoey.
It's disgusting.
And they kept booing.
Even a brand new shoe. Glasses are great for this.
Yes. So this is the last night in Brisbane, which is the last night in
Of the tour.
Australia because you go
Okay.
to New Zealand.
Oh, you went, okay.
So I go, here's my idea. We'll do a Shoey at the last show at the last night. But I'm like, I'm not doing a Shoey because Bert did one, got laryngitis. Because you get all that jizz from the shoe.
Yeah.
You get all the goo and dirt.
I'm sure it
and-
wasn't staying up all night drinking. And
Well,
talking.
yeah.
Bert loves to blame things on one thing. It's not real. Yeah.
So we went out and bought a shoe at Walmart for
Okay.
$8, and we set it up where the promoter guy went, "Do a Shoey, you cunt." And I was like, I'm not doing a Shoey. And I said, fuck it. And the crowd goes wild. And then Youngblood threw me a shoe. I caught it.
That shoe?
The
Walmart
Walmart
shoe?
shoe.
Oh, no.
I pour a beer in, I do it, the place goes ape shit.
Especially after you said no.
Exactly.
I did that somewhere once with somebody threw me an edible. I'm like, no, God, I don't know what it's a fucking handmade. I don't know. I need to, and they all just, it's so funny. They're like, boo. I'm like, okay. You eat the whole thing instantly. You're like, oh, I'll make mistakes.
They
I don't
go
know what's
nuts.
in here. Yeah.
It's an experience. They get to go. They'll tell that story for a year.
The shoey, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. And once you down a whole beer, you just guzzle.
Yeah, you
but you're not
pour-
a guzzler though.
I'm not a guzzler, but you make it happen.
You sip out of one.
Yeah.
Sip for
Pinky
sure.
out.
Drink it out of those little like shoelace holes.
Yeah.
Just put a straw in there.
Right. Yeah, so we do the Shoey, we leave, we have a great, we go hit the bars. That's where I got that drunk photo. We went to a strip club. That was awesome.
Yeah.
The strippers there, my God, they're like 11s. You're like, what are you doing here? You could make it in Dubai. You could
It's a
marry
long
a prince.
trip, dude. Australia chicks are hot
Hot.
and slutty.
Yeah.
I mean, too bad you were there with. You brought sand to the beach, but like,
Well, you know.
I know. But I'm saying like everybody I knew who went to Australia in high school and college and stuff, like, oh, they must have loved my American accent. I got laid so much. And then I had Israeli friends like they love the Israeli accent. I got laid. Icelandic friend, oh, they love the Icelandic accent. I'm like, no, they're just sluts.
that's a bit. That's
it's nothing
great.
to do with your accent.
That's so true.
It's fun. They're just casual about it. I think it might be the least religious country in the world. I think it was a 17% belief rate the last time I looked.
I think you're right.
So it's like, you take that out, I'm like, yeah, you're cool, let's fuck.
Yeah, why the guilt?
Why the guilt?
No guilt. Jewish women have less sexual guilt, I find. It's
Interesting.
very Christian.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
maybe.
Either way, so like I went to Catholic school, and you'd fuck girls in the ass because they called it God's hole.
Great, love it.
Yeah, well,
I'll comply.
I'm not complaining.
I will comply.
Yeah, I'm doing this in their ass, but
so great. What a fun trip.
So fun. Then you go down to New Zealand. That's a whole different world.
New Zealand's another episode.
Okay, great.
I don't know anyone who's been there, and I want to go. I want to go back, but I want to go for a month.
You would love it. The nature beats
that's why.
Australia.
That's why I want to go get a car or a van and go out there. Well, as we wrap up, let me just say again, watch the special.
Yes.
It's on Netflix right now. It's called
Soup to Nuts.
Soup to Nuts. Mark's one of the best comics working. You'll love him. It's hilarious as always. I haven't watched it yet, but I assume it's the shit I've seen you do on stage live over the last year or two.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
That is great.
Oh, thanks. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're a crusher, so that's awesome. Soup to Nuts, it's on Netflix right now. If you have a computer, go to netflix.com, and you can find a way to log in and register for an account.
Yeah, steal the password, whatever you got to do. Just
dude.
Watch it. I just wanted people to see it.
I was still using Big J's Netflix login when I was watching my own special. He eventually changed his account.
Apparently they're cracking down
They're
on
cracked
that now,
down,
but,
yeah.
Who cares?
Usually I'll do this in this episode show too, where I ask like a tip, but you already said it, like get out there and
fuck the lunch.
Yeah.
Fuck this precious lunch.
Yeah.
Just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Does anyone else, when you say dream place, does anyone ever like Tallahassee? Like, have you had that guy yet?
No.
All right, good.
I have not. But it's like, how certain places are calling you.
Yeah.
It sounds like that. Like you're like, oh, I'm looking forward to go to Berlin, but like Israel's calling me.
Because the lady wants to go to Japan and Tokyo and all that stuff, which I don't really
Some
care
places
about.
you don't care.
I don't
Schloss
care.
came in and was talking about Russia, and I'm like, I've never cared.
No thought about Russia.
But like Morocco is just in me.
I've been
shake
there.
it.
You would love Morocco. I've been to Rabat, Fez, Morocco, and the Medinas, they call them, which is their market. They're built in a mountain. So you walk through, and there's a donkey passing by you, and there's spices over here, there's rugs over here, there's a fat lady with produce, then there's a lady who does the henna tattoo, there's a snake charmer guy. It's so much for the senses in a mountain. There's little cracks of sunlight coming in. You're like, oh, let me get this old book that's leather bound. Me and my dad went. Well, he bought like 2 rugs. They shipped them home. We had to haggle with them. Turbans, the whole thing. Wild.
Wow.
You would love it.
Oh.
Gotta go to Morocco.
All right. Well, damn. I don't want to go so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Mark Norman, again, Soup to Nuts. Check out his 2 podcasts. Tuesdays with Stories with Joe List and We Might Be Drunk with Sam Morrill.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a guest on both the podcasts. I will say my appearances on We Might Be Drunk are far better because
you think
Tuesdays with Stories is not for guests.
It's not for guests, but you did well, and you actually you brought in higher numbers than we have normally. So
okay,
that's a feather
I
in your.
I'm letting you guys down. We Might Be Drunk. I feel like I'm not letting you down.
Well, that's
and
a
Tuesdays
hang
with
pod.
Stories.
Well, Joe's a tough nut to crack.
But I've cracked them.
That's true.
so that excuse is gone.
That was very Jewish. But I cracked him.
All right, guys, thank you very much. If there's a Patreon by now, check out the Patreon, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Just try not to quit this pod like you quit all the other ones.
You be tripping. Yeah, no, this one I'm interested in.
All right, that helps.
Yeah.
No one else is, but at least you're into it.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank
you.
Well, that's the episode, everybody, and it was a good one. Thank you, Mark Norman, for coming in. That was very interesting. You could feel the love he had for a new place. Mark's getting into travel. I can feel it. He's gone since then to a few places. Berlin, he really loved. Mexico City. Oh, he's got to come back and talk about that. Maybe we'll just do one together about that. I love Mexico City. But he's got the bug now. He never did. He always took off like a full focus on stand-up. Never could. Now he's taking like a week here or there. It's great. Maybe I'll get him to do Paris next time for the next one. He went there too. Anyway, that's the episode. Everybody go to follow him on Instagram.com/Mark Norman. You can follow me at Instagram.com/Ari Shaffir. You can also follow the podcast Instagram.com/You Be Trippin Pod. And please subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts at You Be Trippin. And if you want to follow it on YouTube, it's youtube.com/You Be Trippin Pod. And that's it, everybody. That's the episode. I'll see you not even next week, in 4 days' time on Monday for Mr. Dan Soder to talk about his trip to Iceland. This has been You Be Trippin, episode 2. They're pretty fun. But wait. Chat, how do you say goodbye in Australia? Hooroo? No fucking way. I've never heard that before in my life. It's not hooroo. There's no fucking way. That's wrong. That's wrong. The only way I'll accept is a bogan way of just getting drunk and passing out. And then going to 7-Eleven for a nice meat pie. Until next week, hooroo, everyone. What are we doing here? It's just regular Bible talk. We've done this before. And then we were done, and my dad was like, all right, symbolically, we're wiped clean of sin. I was like, oh, so cool. Can we go back inside? He goes, yeah, we can go back inside. But before we do, this chicken's got to pay for his crimes. What? Big Nate? What did Big Nate do? He goes, no, there's no one here by that name. First of all, I already told you that. And second of all, he knows what he did. He punched his sister. He stole that pencil. He gossiped. All my stuff. Look, man, Jews are excellent lawyers. And this motherfucker's gonna hang for his crimes. Yeah, so he reached down in front of me, 6 years old. I was screaming for him not to. I was like, Dad, no, please. And he reached down, he grabbed this chicken by the neck, and, calm down. He didn't snap the neck. He picks it up by the neck and just starts like, oh yeah, way worse than whatever you guys pictured 5 seconds ago. Far, far more barbaric. Whatever you were thinking is like the way, I did not see it coming at all. You know who's more surprised? Big Nate. You should have heard like, what the fuck? That's how I die? You asked that chicken 8 minutes earlier, how are you gonna die? No way, it guesses correctly. But Big Nate, how are you gonna die? Like, old age, I think, probably old age. These Jews treat me great, you know? He's never guessed I'm gonna die by swinging over a Hebrew's head in some Northern African voodoo ritual. That, by the way, was not only my family. It wasn't like we were the weird ones. If you drive down the streets the afternoon before Yom Kippur, down Teaneck, New Jersey, or Skokie, Illinois, or Kent Mill, Maryland, or wherever you guys keep your Johnny Cash Jews, you'll see dozens of them lassoing poultry in front of their horrified young sons. Then he finished, and he threw it down right near my feet. Not dead, just hurt bad. Like not gonna recover bad. You know, taking a wing, trying to get away, like, just trying to get home to see her eggs one more time. And then you can't eat the chicken afterwards. No, have the chickens. Because it's got all our sins on it, so you can't eat it. So, you know what we do with it? You're for sure not gonna like this, but we give it to poor people. We don't tell them about the sins. They were like, here's some chicken. Eat it. No, it's chicken. Go ahead, eat it. Eat the chicken. Eat the chicken. Eat the chicken. It's good. Eat it. Eat the chicken. It's good. Eat the chicken. Yeah, so here's the weird part. Oh. Yeah, that's not the weird part at all. That's not the weird part. Yeah, that is weird. That's not the weird part. Here's the weird, I took it for granted. Here's the weird part. I went home again for Rosh Hashanah. It's part of the 10 days of repentance, Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. It's called the Aseret Yemei Tshuva. And I went home again probably 7-8 years ago. And at this point now, I'm way out of the religion, okay? When I was like, I guess 22, 23, I had a crisis of faith. And I realized I didn't believe in God. And that's like a pretty important part of the religion. It was when I was in that yeshiva, that seminary in Jerusalem. So I left a light on above my bed, a reading light on above my bed in the dormitories, and it was just in my eye on Friday night, on Shabbos night, and I couldn't fucking sleep, and it was right in my eye. I was getting so fucking frustrated that eventually I was like, fuck this, I'll turn it off. You know, and right when I went to turn it off, I was like, some people walked by my window, and I'm like, fuck, I'll get in trouble. There's no goys to help me, you know, not in Jerusalem. So I was like, fuck. And I didn't turn it off, but then I thought about it later. I was like, why would I care if people got me in trouble? You know? I should care about God. And then it hit me, I'm like, oh, I don't believe in God. Fuck. So I'm like, I'm out, I'm done. I went and got my first non-kosher meal, Taco Bell. Do not clap for Taco Bell. Ever. Oh, I was so like overcome by like guilt. I threw up after I ate it. But now that I'm looking back on it, I realized it was not the guilt at all. I just thought that then. I thought that was real food back then. It's Taco Bell. Never ever eat there. So I left. I had to leave. I had to tell my Orthodox Jewish Holocaust survivor father that I was out. Yeah, he wasn't stoked. I get it from his perspective. You gotta understand. Like, he sent me to Hebrew school for 12 years at like $15,000 a year. You know, Jews don't love wasting money. I don't know if you've heard about us. And then yeshiva, seminary in Jerusalem at like 30 grand a year for 2 more years. And then when I got out, I was like, Dad, I need to talk to you about something important.